28 at midnight, window was next for me. Longevity, wonder how long they'll check for me. So your boy finally hit 28 years old. December 5th, 1993. I was brought into this world a month premature, and the doctors weren't sure if I would make it. But 28 years later, and here we are. Life has been extremely tumultuous, scary at times, unyielding through many of my darkest moments and my toughest days. But I'm here. It's also been beautiful, and it's been triumphant, and it's been a series of overcoming challenges and defying odds and defeating circumstances and external stimuli that try to throw me off course. Somehow, some way, I'm still here. And I reflect on everybody I've lost over the years. Friends, family members, so many people. In and out, for various reasons. Friends that have gotten murdered, you know? Friends and family who are in prison for many years to come. Friends and family who have overdosed. Or ones we've just lost touch with and kind of moved our separate ways as we've gotten older and more grown. And life has just continued to be life. Birthdays are always kind of weird for me because I'm not big on celebrations. I'll be completely honest, one of my biggest struggles is finding ways to celebrate and be proud of myself for things I've accomplished over the years. A part of this burden, I'll call it, of having this huge, enormous vision of what you can do, what you're capable of, what you're put on this earth to accomplish and to bring to the world. A big part of that means along the way, it's gonna be tough to find that joy and appreciation for what you've accomplished, because it's never good enough, because the vision is so much bigger. Year 27, I made it a point to really try to work on. I can't say I've gotten there yet. I'm still struggling to find ways to be proud and to not look ahead and say, man, but this is what I'm supposed to be doing. This is where I'm supposed to be one day. So I can't be happy right now. I can't celebrate right now. But that's not the case. And that's not how it should be. We should be celebrating the wins along the way. And I've even tried to take out the word small from my vocabulary. Small wins, small victories. Nah, nothing's small. It all matters. Every day, every second, everything you do, it matters. It's never small. And the more I tell myself that, the better I start to feel about my journey. Because I know deep down, I'm right where I'm supposed to be. I'm not where I want to be. I'm not who I want to be. Not yet, but I'm right where I'm supposed to be. Throughout my life so far, I've learned so many lessons about identity and who I am and what I desire and what makes me tick. And even as a young boy, I wasn't really one to get caught into peer pressure. I wasn't really one to follow the crowd. I've always kind of done my own thing. You know, march to the beat of your own drum, make your own music. And I've done that. But the older I get, the more refined I become. The more stoic I become. You guys know I study stoicism a lot. And being able to transcend any circumstance by maintaining composure and poise, even amongst chaos. A lot of things that I used to desire as a child, the vain pursuits and maybe petty indulgences, I no longer have a desire for. When I was younger, you know, you find validation in women and sexual conquest. You talk to your boys, you talk about who gets this, who doesn't get that. And you know, at times I still joke about it. But I know deep down, as a man, when I look in my eyes, I don't see any of that when I look in my eyes. I see my integrity, you know, I see my honor, I see my loyalty to my family and the ones I love and the ones I'm accountable to. I see somebody who's defeated everything that's tried to come against him in his entire life. And I see a winner and I see a warrior. And when I wake up in those dark days, I see a savage. Because I know that everything that tries to come up against me, you're gonna have to hit a little bit harder because I'm swinging back. And even thinking about material things, you know, as a child, you want certain things. We couldn't really afford Jordan, so as a kid, I used to want the nicest shoes. Didn't always have them, right? Or maybe the nicest clothes, and maybe we had to pull out of bags of hand-me-downs a lot. But that was okay. It was building character. And now looking back, I honestly don't even care about anything materialistic. I don't. I find no pleasure, no gratification, no satisfaction in these things. Do I hate nice things? Nah, I don't hate them. Just see no need for them. You know, why am I here? To lead, to inspire, to help y'all believe in magic and believe in light? That don't take some Gucci shoes, bro. That doesn't take a Louis bag. I have no desire for it. And it's crazy when I'm on social media and I see my people, you know, black people, and what we do is We buy these things that we can't afford to showcase to other black people who also don't have it and can't afford it. And we use it as a virtue signal and a way to say that, hey, look, I'm doing better than you. To put down another black man or another black woman, whether intentional or not, that's essentially what it does. We know how comparison culture works. We know how body dysmorphia in this generation works. We know how self-esteem, and I have no desire to play a part in that. I don't want people to see me as anything but human. And that's what I think about when I think about life. My whole journey since I was a little boy, it's a big self-discovery journey. It's a big journey of trying to become human again. Because when you're a child, you're so pure. Everything is rainbows and daisies until the clouds come and the rain comes and you cry about it. You scrape your knee, you get back up. You cry, you laugh, you put a Band-Aid on, put some ointment on, you know. But you're so pure of heart and your experience hasn't been tainted yet by the world. You haven't been indoctrinated yet. You haven't been conditioned yet to see yourself as anything less than your greatest self. And as you get older, the world will pretty much tell you, hey, here's this box. You know, come fit in this box that I made. Come fit in this box that I made and be happy about it. Be grateful that you have this box. And I am grateful for the boxes. I am. However, I've never fit into any of those boxes. I never had. And I used to question things a lot. Why do we have this system where people hate 5 days of their lives and live for 2? Explain it to me. Why, if I'm in church, why can't I give my 10% of this little bit of money I have and give it to the homeless man that sleeps on our porch? Why do I have to give it to the pastor so he can get some gator shoes? Doesn't make sense. So everywhere you go, somebody's telling you who you're supposed to become or who you're supposed to be on this earth. And the whole time, you just feel lost. It never makes sense till you start to truly question everything and look inside for answers. And look to the man upstairs. And they'll talk to you. You'll find out. So every day, from the time you're 5 years old to the time however old you are right now, it's a discovery journey. It's a trek of you trying to find out how to be human again. Because being human was never about what they try to make it about. It wasn't about this waking up going to this damn job every day. It wasn't about building somebody else's dream and not yours. It wasn't about that. What happened to family, you know? What happened to community? What happened to a village and building children up to be great? But nowadays we have adults who are trying to compete with children and trying to move around this earth like they're still children. And the kids have nobody to look up to. Everything I do, I think about those kids, yo. I think about when I was 10 years old and had nobody that looked like me to look up to and tell me I could do it. Now these kids have somebody. And it's not just me. My brothers, my friends, we got some people who are trying to set this example and who are setting this example. And those kids, they need somebody to look up to. Somebody who's come from where they're coming from. Who knows their story. Who knows what it's like to not have their father in their life. Who knows what it's like to be on welfare and to put cardboard in your shoes and to be desperate and starving, man, and just super hungry all the time. Not physically, but also metaphorically. You're hungry, but you got this drive and this fire inside of you that you're trying to let burn, but the world's telling you to keep it down. Keep it down, young black man, keep it down. Don't keep it down. Every day I fight to not keep it down. I'm never gonna dim my light. I'm never, ever, ever gonna dim my light. I've seen too much. I've been through too much. I just reflect, and I'm young still, you know? 28 is super young. But what I've seen, I feel so refined compared to what I used to. Even me at 25, I look back and I'm like, man, that kid knew nothing. And the plan is, the goal is that at 30, you know, 2 years from now, I'm gonna look back on today and say, man, that kid knew nothing. Because I've grown and I've become more enlightened ever since. Anybody who knows me, who knows a bit of my journey or where I come from or what keeps me going, I really pray that y'all know I don't want to be anything but myself. I can't wait to put out this same project next year because the last song is called Real Boy, aka Pinocchio's story based on a song Kanye made. And that's all I want. I don't like gifts. I don't care for gifts. I don't really care for, like I said, materialistic things or being broadcasted to the masses as far as, you know, attention and people giving me a bunch of praise publicly. I'm not too concerned with that. I'm working to get to the point where my art speaks for itself and that I can make the moves I want to make back home and get into these rooms I want to get into to really make some change that I'm looking towards. I'm excited about that. But in my everyday life, I don't need gifts. I don't need a bunch of attention. I just really wish and want people to see me as my most authentic and pure self. If I'm going to be completely honest, I don't think that that's happened yet. Not on a grand scale. My family sees me. and the people who truly take time to know me, I'm still very misunderstood by many people I meet. And they have this perception of me based on what they see on social media or based on some surface level conversations, but they don't always know what's really going on inside. And what's really going on is I'm fighting a war every day. I'm not some guy that's always sad and despondent, and I'm just very self-aware, and I'm always thinking. I'm always trying to figure this life thing out, man. I don't think anybody ever figures it out. Maybe after this is when you figure it out, you know, who knows? This time of year, you know, I haven't even told y'all, some of y'all, I don't live in Chicago anymore. I moved to a new city. If you know me, you know where I stay at now. Less than 2 months ago, there's been a bunch of change. I'm in this space right now where I'm kind of numb. I can't quite put my finger on it. I don't know if it's just part of the journey. I don't know if it's seasonal depression coming on or what it is. I don't feel particularly sad or upset about anything, but I'm also not super duper excited about anything. However, I feel very peaceful inside. I feel very peaceful. When I look around at the way my life is right now and where I am, I feel blessed because it's not where I was before. I'm nowhere near where I want to be, but I do feel blessed and grateful and appreciative. And I'm just in this space where I'm observing a lot. I'm doing a bunch of self-discovery and self-inner work, you know, reading more books, constantly challenging my mind and being mindful of what I allow myself to digest and see. I know YouTube can be a cesspool. It's a beautiful place where you can learn anything, connect with like-minded people. Same with all social media, Twitter. But it can also be a cesspool to make you think you're not good enough or to make you second guess your journey or compare yourself to somebody else. And that's not healthy. I learned more of that at age 27. I learned truly to appreciate every second, every moment we get. It's so weird, yo. When I was a kid, yo, I almost felt like I was here before, bro. And they used to tell me I had an old soul. As a child, I didn't quite understand what that meant. Until the older I got, I would see myself in different spaces around different people, and I can play the game. You know what I'm saying? I can be a part of the world, quote unquote. But I never felt like I belonged there, bro. I never felt like I belonged anywhere like that. To this day, people are very confused when I say I haven't had a drink in 2 years. It served me no purpose in my life. I wasn't a heavy drinker to begin with, but it served me no purpose. And the fact that it was tied to my escapism and running away from whatever I was running away from, it didn't sit right with me as a man. And the type of man I portray myself to be and that I would love to be as a father one day, friend, a son, whatever the case may be, that man can stand on something bigger than himself. I'm okay with saying no and people thinking I'm corny, thinking I'm lame, thinking I'm this because I don't want to be at the bar, I don't want to drink with you, I don't want to smoke with you, I don't want to sit and gossip and talk about celebrity relationships that I care nothing about. Because there's kids that look like me who are starving. I really want to get more in tune with living life in the moment and even more than I am now. I do that for the most part, but I want to get more in tune with it. Last year was very personal. These next few years are very personal. I don't want my day to be filled with anything but things that I love, man. That's not to say I'm not going to challenge myself, because I love challenges. I love pushing myself to do things that make me uncomfortable and things that I hate, as Goggins would say. But as far as empty relationships, you know, giving myself to women who don't deserve me and vice versa, you know, giving myself to women and to people who, after this experience is over, after this whatever is done, I feel empty, I feel depleted, and I feel drained, and I just feel worse about everything in my life. I had to stop doing that. Something I'm going to continue to do at age 28. I've been working on not overthinking so much, especially being a perfectionist. One of my favorite quotes that, I don't know if I coined it, but I say I coined it, but perfectionism is just veiled cowardice, and perfection is for cowards. And it's actually something I'm going to get tatted sometime pretty soon, because it's a message to myself. All that perfect stuff it's not possible, bro. It's not possible. Progress is what you need to be focused on. The experience, man, the journey, every step along the way. So what that poetry book ain't perfect, Curt? Finish it, bro. Put it out. So what that song ain't perfect? The message is needed. Put it out. Keep trying. Keep shooting for the moon. That's what matters, is that you always take another step. I say it to y'all every day. I say it to y'all all the time. All that matters is that you do not stop. You do not give up on you. The world may give up on you. You may give up on so many other people, so many other things, so many dreams, so many goals. But if you don't give up on you, all of that can be reawakened and revisited when it's time to. I don't know where this next phase of life is gonna lead me. Things change every day. There's always something else going on. There's always some new endeavor, new dream, new goal. I'd be lying if I said that I felt like I knew where I was going right now. I have a vision of where I would like to be, but as far as my day-to-day, my steps, I can't sit here and say that I know what I'm doing. Because at the end of the day, I'm just a mortal man, and I don't know what I'm doing all the time. And I know y'all see me, y'all know I handle it very well, and I'm extremely even-keeled. I rarely ever get too high or too low, but I'm looking for clarity. And so if I could just give a message to myself for this upcoming year, my younger self, to anybody listening, is to just take one more step and look for clarity. Who knows when I'll get it? Who knows when I'll receive it? But I'm gonna live my life in the most bold and authentic way until that time comes. Because at least I do know why I'm here and what my job is. And so as long as I keep that first, I think I like where I end up at. For next year, I really do want to build this channel up, and not just for music related purposes, but for life. You know, I was a man before I was a musician. I'm a human being before I'm anything else. And I'm a vessel of God and his great power, and I'm just an expression of the greatest power of the Most High's love and his light. So next year I want to keep connecting with y'all. I'm not really here for the men versus women debates and the relationship stuff, and you know, we talk about some of that, but I more so care about y'all and the inside, man, and how y'all are doing, how y'all are feeling. So I appreciate anybody on this journey with me. I'm grateful for those who are soon to come, and I'm grateful for those who have passed on. Happy birthday to me, man. 28 at midnight window was next for me. Longevity, wonder how long they'll check for me. I love you all, and Godspeed. I'm out.